All right. Let's get ready for another deep dive, you guys.
Yeah.
This time, we're going to be looking at Surah Baqarah.
The big one.
It is the biggest one.
The longest chapter in the Quran.
Yeah, longest chapter in the Quran.
So many gems in this one.
Oh.
So many.
So much to learn.
Yeah, so much to unpack.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at some notes from a collection that summarizes each juz of the surah.
Yeah, it's kind of like we have this cheat sheet,
Yeah.
to help us unlock the core teachings
Yeah.
and like practical advice
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
within this like really significant chapter.
Okay, so juz 1 starts off strong.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, it's suggesting that reciting Surah Baqarah, like a portion of it daily, can help with protection against magic and shaitan.
Oh, wow.
Like that's kind of a...
That's a big claim.
Yeah.
It's almost like, it's giving us this like supernatural shield or something.
Yeah, what's the deeper meaning there?
I think instead of thinking of it as a literal shield.
It's more helpful to imagine Surah Baqarah as like a spiritual anchor,
Yeah.
Like the words themselves, the messages,
Yeah.
when we really reflect on them,
Yeah.
they can actually help strengthen our connection with Allah
Oh, okay.
and like fortify us against negative influences.
Interesting.
So it's more about building that internal resilience
Right.
through the words and the teachings.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than like
Yeah.
like a literal shield.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then like right after that, the notes go straight into Taqwa.
Yeah, Taqwa.
Like God consciousness.
Yeah, it's like front and center.
Yeah.
It's like that foundation for every good deed that we do.
Yeah. So how would you describe that? Like, what is that?
I think of it as that constant awareness
Yeah.
that Allah is seeing us, knowing us,
Yeah.
guiding us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about following the rules blindly.
Right.
It's about aligning our hearts and our intentions
Yeah.
with His will, even when no one's watching.
That's a tough one.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely something that we all struggle with, right?
For sure.
I mean, especially in today's world,
Yeah.
with all the distractions.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And the temptations kind of pulling us in different directions.
Yeah, for sure.
It's easy to lose sight of that.
Right. It's like that extra layer of intentionality, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Behind every action.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're building on this foundation of Taqwa.
Uh-huh.
And then, like,
What?
the notes hit us with this powerful statement. Purify your speech. There should be no contradiction between what you say and what is hidden in your heart.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it feels like a call out.
It does. Yeah, it's like holding up a mirror to all of us
Mm-hmm.
and saying like, hey, let's be real.
Have you ever caught yourself saying one thing,
Oh, yeah.
but inside you feel totally different?
All the time.
Right.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we've all been there. But I think what's interesting here is that it's not just about being honest with others, right?
Yeah.
It's also about being honest with ourselves.
That's a good point.
It's like examining those moments where our words don't actually align with our true feelings or our intentions.
Yeah.
And asking ourselves, why is that?
Mm,
Are we
yeah.
speaking out of fear or pride?
Right.
Maybe a desire to just, fit in.
Yeah. That's such a good point.
Yeah.
And that really ties into, I think, like how we engage with the Quran, right?
Yeah.
Like the notes say, when a person studies the Quran, he can see his mistakes.
Hmm.
But it's not about judgment or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
like using the Quran as a tool
Right.
for self-improvement.
It's like the Quran becomes that mirror
Yeah.
that we were talking about,
Yeah.
helping us identify our own blind spots,
Mm-hmm.
areas where we need to improve,
Yeah.
And it's not just about reading the words,
Right.
but like really internalizing the message
Yeah.
and then applying it to our lives.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
Now, Juz 1 also brings up this concept of shirk,
Sure. Yeah.
which is often understood as like associating partners with Allah.
Right. Right.
But the notes kind of go a little deeper.
They do. Yeah. It's not just about idols or statues.
Yeah.
It's about anything that we put before our relationship with Allah. Right.
Right.
It's about asking ourselves, like, what do we truly value most in our lives? What consumes our thoughts?
Yeah.
What drives our actions?
Yeah.
And if it's anything other than Allah, then that's where we need to reevaluate our priorities.
That's such a good point because it's like you don't think about those things.
Right. It's those subtle forms
Yeah, those little subtle shirk.
that can creep into our lives without us even realizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
And then there's this mention of like angels.
Angels.
Yeah.
What about them?
They're constantly engaging in tasbih,
Uh,
saying subhanallah bihamdihi.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this gentle reminder
Yeah.
to like elevate our own speech, right?
Yeah. I love that.
And focus on glorifying Allah.
It's like instead of complaining
Yeah.
or gossiping,
Yeah.
we shift our focus to expressing gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
praising Allah for all his blessings.
Yeah.
Imagine if our daily conversations were filled with that.
Yeah. That would be a game changer.
More positive energy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of cleansing, this section of Juz 1 also tells the story of Adam.
Yeah.
And his prostration due to knowledge.
Right. And it wasn't just any knowledge. It was beneficial knowledge.
Okay.
This emphasizes that inherent value of knowledge that can actually uplift humanity.
Right.
And bring us closer to Allah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder. It should be a means to an end.
Yeah, it's not just about accumulating knowledge for the sake of it.
Right.
It's about using that knowledge to serve Allah and to benefit others.
And even though Adam messed up, he made a mistake, he immediately turned to Allah.
In repentance, yeah.
He was forgiven.
Forgiven.
It's a beautiful message of hope, especially during Ramadan.
Yeah, especially during Ramadan, yeah.
It reminds us that no matter how many mistakes we've made, Allah's mercy is always there.
Always available.
You just have to turn to him with sincere remorse.
And a willingness to change.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then the notes go on to this idea of turning to Allah first when we face weakness or difficulty. In our faith.
Mm-hmm.
It says, whenever our iman becomes weak or it is difficult to act on a command, then seek help with patience plus prayer.
Patience and prayer.
It's like that direct line.
It is, yeah.
It's like
instead of complaining or dwelling in that negativity, we're encouraged to go directly to Allah through prayer, seek his guidance and comfort.
That's good. It's a reminder that we don't have to carry those burdens alone.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's this really interesting point about, like, if someone comes to you with a problem, the notes suggest to redirect them to Allah.
Guide them to seek solutions through prayer and their own connection with Allah.
Yeah, instead of just like giving advice.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's about empowering others.
To find that strength and solace within themselves.
Yeah.
Through their relationship with Allah.
Through their own connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, this one hit me hard. Whoever desires to meet Allah SWP, Allah SWT desires to meet him. Are we ready to meet Allah?
Oh, wow. That's a big question.
Yeah.
It really makes you pause and think. Like a gentle nudge,
Yeah.
to remind us of our ultimate purpose, which is that return to Allah.
Yeah.
It's about examining, our actions, our thoughts, our intentions, and asking ourselves, are we living in a way
that reflects our desire to meet him?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that segues perfectly into the concept of love, which is like such a central theme.
It is, yeah.
In Surah Al-Baqarah.
Mm-hmm.
And the notes say, a sign of loving Allah is one's love for the prayer.
I love that.
Right?
It's so beautiful.
This is not just an obligation anymore.
No, it's an expression of love.
Yeah.
A longing to connect with the divine.
Yeah, and it's not even just the ritual of prayer. Mm-hmm. The notes also highlight that true love for Allah involves constantly remembering him, speaking about him, and expressing our love.
Through our actions.
Yeah.
It's about making Allah an integral part of our lives.
Yeah.
Not just relegating faith to specific times and places.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating that constant awareness of his presence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about Taqwa, purifying our speech, shirk, seeking knowledge.
It's a lot.
Juz 1 ends with this idea of purposeful living.
Purposeful living, yeah.
What did you get from that?
So the notes describe purposeful people as those who live a simple life, focusing on the hereafter rather than being consumed by worldly possessions.
Right.
Yeah. And they emphasize seeking beneficial knowledge.
Okay.
Making dua for ourselves. Submitting to Allah's commands without question.
Yeah.
And asking him to open our hearts to understand his book and his deen.
Wow. It's like this roadmap.
Yeah, it is. It's like a blueprint.
For aligning our lives.
Aligning our lives with our faith, yeah.
Yeah, internally and externally.
Absolutely.
It's about simplifying our priorities. Seeking that knowledge that brings us closer to Allah, and making that conscious effort to really embody Islamic values.
Yeah, in our daily lives.
I love that.
Yeah.
And Juz 1 wraps up with, adab is a part of our religion.
It's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Our character, our manners, the way we interact with others, they are a reflection of our faith.
I love that.
Yeah, it's about embodying those Islamic values in our daily interaction.
Yeah.
Treating others with respect and kindness.
Yeah.
Striving to be a positive influence.
I like that it's not just about personal piety. It's about creating a ripple effect.
The ripple effect, yeah.
Of goodness in the world.
Through our actions and interactions.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we've unpacked so much in Jews 1.
I know it's only the first Jews.
I know, we're just getting started.
And there's so much more to come.
And we've already learned so much.
I know.
Are you ready to dive into Jews 2?
Let's go.
All right. Jews 2 of Surah Al-Baqarah. I feel like right away it kind of addresses this thing that we all struggle with.
What's that?
Fear.
Fear.
Fear, yeah, for sure.
The notes get right to it.
They do. What do they say?
They say, "Do not fear the people, only fear Allah. If He is pleased with you, nothing can harm you."
Wow, that's so powerful.
Right.
It's like it totally changes our perspective on like where our security comes from.
Yeah, not from people.
Not from fitting in.
Not from, trying to please everyone around us.
Yeah,
but from pleasing Allah.
Yeah.
Striving for His pleasure.
Yeah, and it's not about pretending.
Right.
Like, we don't have fears.
Of course we have fears. We're human.
But it's about...
It's about recognizing that, ultimate protection
Yeah.
and peace comes from our connection with Allah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
And then there's this line, "In this life, everyone will disappoint you. Allah, SWT, is the only one who will never disappoint you. So why not only have expectations from Him?"
Oh, that's a tough one.
It's like...
It's so true, though, right?
It's so
Like,
big.
even the best human relationships are going to have moments where we feel let down.
Yeah.
But with Allah,
Yeah.
there's that, unwavering consistency of love and mercy.
It's a good reminder to place our trust there.
Absolutely.
Not on TV.
Yeah, not on the fleeting nature of human beings.
I like that, okay? Then the notes go on to say, "Race to good deeds. Compete in this."
Ooh, I love that.
Me too.
It's like a call to action,
It is.
It's a reminder that our faith is not just about passive belief.
Right.
It's about actively engaging in those deeds that bring us closer to Allah
Yes.
and that benefit others.
Yeah. And then they even give us like a little checklist.
Oh, yeah. What's on the list?
Praying on time.
Okay, gotta have that.
Fulfilling those obligations like zakat, hajj.
Right.
And those positive character traits.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Gentleness, generosity.
It's like a blueprint for our daily lives.
It is.
Infusing our actions.
With our faith.
With our faith, exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Then for when things get rough.
Yeah. What do they say about that?
They say, "Be grateful for the present." That could have been worse. "And be hopeful for the future. Calamities are not there forever."
I like that.
Right.
It's that balance.
Yeah, finding that balance.
Between acknowledging those challenges,
Yeah.
but still having hope.
Yeah. And trusting.
Trusting that it's not going to last forever.
And they have a tip for when you're feeling that envy.
Oh, what is it?
They say, when someone reminds you of what you don't have, instead of like getting down on yourself, say, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That shifts your perspective.
Immediately.
He reminds you that everything we have is from Allah.
And it goes right back to Him.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Beautiful reminder.
Okay, so then the notes highlight something about people who are connected to Allah.
Oh, okay. What about them?
They say, "Those who have a strong connection with Allah, SWT, are not perturbed by the challenges of this life."
That's powerful, right?
That's amazing.
Like when your heart is rooted in that relationship with Allah,
Yeah.
those external things, they don't shake us to our core.
That's the kind of faith I want to have.
It's unshakable, inner strength.
And they connect that inner strength to night prayer.
Great prayer, yeah.
If we truly love Allah, SWT, we will make an effort to wake up in the night and connect with Him in seclusion.
It's like that special time, right?
It is.
Just you and Allah.
Yeah.
Deep reflection.
Yeah.
Heartfelt supplications.
And then they say, when you feel lazy about your worship, remember your death. Okay,
It's a little dark.
It's a little bit morbid.
But it's a good reminder.
It is, yeah.
It really wakes you up.
It puts things in perspective.
Yeah. So, moving on.
Yeah.
They offer some advice for when we feel abandoned or unsupported.
Okay, what do they say about that?
They suggest, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil.
Sufficient for us is Allah, and He is the best disposer of affairs.
Such a powerful reminder.
It is. It's like that affirmation of trust, reliance on Allah.
That even when human support fails us, He's always there.
He's always there for us.
Our protector.
Our provider, our guide.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. What about the quality of our giving?
The quality.
Yeah, in the way of Allah.
Okay. Spend your best in the way of Allah. SWT. Don't give your trash or leftovers.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
Right.
It's like our generosity should reflect our love for Allah.
Yeah.
We should strive to give our best, not just what's convenient.
Or like what we don't want.
Exactly, yeah, like our leftovers.
And it's not just...
It's not just about the material wealth, right?
Right. It's our time, our effort, our skills.
Absolutely.
In service to Allah.
Everything we have is from Him anyway, right?
That's true. And then they challenge us to think about our prayers.
Oh, yeah. What about them?
What are we asking for? Evaluate your du'as. How much do you ask for dunya? How much do you cry over the calamities of the hereafter?
It's a good question to ask ourselves.
It is.
Are we consumed by worldly things?
Yeah.
Or are we equally concerned about our hereafter?
Yeah. Are we thinking about...
It's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
But also remembering that, our ultimate goal should be Allah's pleasure.
And securing a place in paradise.
And then they say, when things go against your desires, say, Raditu billahi rabban. I am pleased with Allah as my Lord.
I love that.
It's like...
It just shifts your perspective so quickly.
It does.
From disappointment to acceptance.
Like, I trust you.
Trust in Allah's plan.
Did you lose your job but join a Quran class? It's a blessing. Allah, SWT has better plans for us. Trust Him.
Wow. Yeah, that's like reframing it.
Yeah.
What we think is a loss.
Yeah.
Could be a redirection towards something even better.
Okay, so then we get into shaitan.
Shaitan.
The notes get a little dark.
What do they say?
They say,
Shaitan wants us to do three things. Evil and immorality, and say about Allah, SWT, what is untrue.
Wow.
It's a reminder that we're always in that battle, right?
It's between good and evil.
Yeah.
It's following our desires versus submitting to Allah's will.
And they give some practical tips to resist Shaitan.
Oh, okay, like what?
Leave anything that has little benefit but a lot of evil. It is not worth it. Your hereafter is more important.
Wow, that's good advice.
It is. It's about those choices we make.
Yeah, those everyday choices.
Yeah, and the instant gratification.
Versus our long-term well-being.
Yeah, prioritizing the hereafter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're moving into the last part of Juz 2.
Okay.
They make this connection between gratitude and halal food.
Halal food? How does that connect?
We should express gratitude to Allah, SWT, for the food He provides, and that this gratitude should translate into consuming only halal and tayyab food.
Ooh, I see.
Permissible and pure food.
Yeah.
It's like
a cycle, right?
It is.
Of appreciation and obedience.
We're acknowledging
Allah's blessings.
Yeah.
And honoring Him by making sure the food we consume is permissible.
And then they say, write your will, Wasiya, especially if you live in a non-Muslim country.
That's good practical advice.
It is.
It's about ensuring, that our wealth is distributed according to Islamic guidelines.
Even after we're gone.
Yeah, taking responsibility for our legacy. Ensuring that our actions in this life benefit others, even after we're not here anymore.
Okay, and then, for dua.
What about dua?
They say, when you make dua, feel that Allah, SWT, is near you because He says so in Ayah 2.186.
Oh, I like that.
It's about creating that feeling
of intimacy and presence.
Yeah.
Like recognizing that Allah is closer to us than our own jugular vein.
Wow.
It's like talking to Him from the heart, knowing He hears every word.
Okay, then they talk about patience and respect.
Patience and respect, yeah.
Especially in those sacred spaces.
Oh.
Take sabr with you when you go for Umrah, Hajj, to the masjid, or whenever you are meeting people. Don't dispute, especially in places where Allah, SWT, is remembered.
It's like our behavior in those spaces should reflect our reverence for Allah.
Allah, SWT, loves those who are repentant and purify themselves. 2.222.
Oh, that's so comforting.
It is.
Like no matter what we've done, it's never too late to turn back to Him.
To seek forgiveness. What do you think the main takeaway from this Juz is?
I think it's about shifting our focus.
Yeah.
From fear and anxiety to trust and reliance on Allah.
Like that's the main thread.
It is, yeah. It runs through the whole Juz.
That inner peace.
Yeah.
Okay, Juz 2 ends with this. Be physically and intellectually fit. 2.247. Allah, SWT, chooses people because of their physical and intellectual strength, not their wealth and possessions.
Wow. Yeah.
Like our bodies and our minds are gifts.
They are, yeah.
We should try to use them.
To our fullest potential.
Yeah.
in service of Allah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 Jews down.
2 Jews down.
Lots more to go.
I'm excited for the next one.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting to the end here. Last part of Jews 2 and then Jews 3 of Surah Al-Baqarah. I noticed in this section there's like this focus on recognizing the good in others, even when we might be like feeling jealous.
Yeah, it's like it's addressing that directly, right?
Yeah.
Acknowledge the goodness in others for which Allah SWT has honored them. 2.253.
I love that.
It's so easy to get caught up in the comparison game, you know.
Oh, especially nowadays.
Especially nowadays with social media and everything. It's like everyone's always highlighting
The best parts.
yeah, their best selves, and it's like, how can you not feel a little jealous sometimes?
Right. It's like you're constantly being bombarded.
Exactly, yeah.
But this advice is like...
It's like a reminder to shift our perspective.
Yeah.
You know, instead of feeling threatened by someone else's success,
Yeah.
we should see it as a reflection of Allah's blessings.
And then be grateful for them.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's that dua.
Which one?
Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlika lazim. Oh Allah, I ask you from your immense bounty.
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
I love that one.
It's like acknowledging
Yeah.
that Allah's bounty is limitless.
Yeah. There's enough for everything.
There's enough for everyone.
I like that.
And that ties into that next point about recognizing our own unique gifts.
Yeah.
Allah SWT has blessed all of us with something that others don't have.
I feel like that's such an important message for people to hear.
Yeah, it's so empowering, you know.
Yeah.
It's like reminding us that we each have something special to offer.
So don't wish you had what they had.
Right. Focus on developing your own potential.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then kind of a little bit of a serious note.
Okay.
Spend in the way of Allah, SWT, before a day arrives when no ransom or intercession will be accepted.
Right. Yeah.
It's a good reminder.
It is. It's about making the most of our time.
Yeah.
Right? You know, recognizing that in the end, it's our good deeds that matter.
Our good deeds and our intentions.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get to this phrase, no compulsion in religion.
Oh, right. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's often taken out of context.
It is, yeah.
But the notes say
What do they say?
that we can't force anyone to accept Islam.
Right, of course.
But once we choose this path,
Yeah.
then we have that responsibility
To live authentically,
to live it.
according to its teachings.
Yeah, and they give some specific examples.
Like what?
Like avoiding riba
Right. Interest.
and observing hijab.
So it's not just about belief.
Right. It's about action.
It's about putting our faith into practice,
Yes.
even when it's difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Allah is the wali of the believers. 2.257.
Such a powerful statement.
It is. It's like we always have,
That ultimate protector.
I'm guide.
Yeah. No matter what challenges we face,
We're not alone.
we're never truly alone.
And then the story of Ibrahim
Ibrahim, yeah.
really shows that.
Yeah, he faced so much rejection.
Yeah, from his own people.
But he never lost faith.
Because he knew.
He knew Allah was with him,
Yeah.
protecting him.
That's a beautiful story.
It is.
So then the notes give some advice about charity and forgiveness.
Oh, okay. What do they say?
They say, speak kindly,
Okay.
conceal your good deeds,
Yeah, don't do them for show,
and seek reward from Allah.
not from people.
Yeah.
It's about purifying our intentions,
Yeah.
right? You know, letting go of that need for recognition from
Yeah.
others.
And then they contrast Shaitan's threats with Allah's promises.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It's like Shaitan tries to fill us with fear and doubt.
While Allah offers boundless bounty and mercy.
It's about who we choose to listen to, right?
Yeah, where do we place our trust?
Okay. Hikmah.
Hikmah, wisdom,
They define it as,
doing the right thing at the right time in the right manner.
it's about making those good choices.
Yeah, navigating life with grace and discernment.
Okay, the longest verse in the Quran.
2.282, the one about financial transactions.
Yes, what a testament to fairness and transparency.
Yeah, even when it comes to dealing with family and friends.
Yeah,
We should document everything properly.
to avoid any issues.
Exactly, yeah. It's about being above board.
Okay, and then
What?
the example of the companions.
Oh, yeah. They were the best examples, right?
Responding to Allah's commands with, Samina wa atana. We hear and we obey.
Complete obedience.
Yeah, trusting in his wisdom.
It's a beautiful example to follow.
Okay, practical tip. Make it a habit of reciting the last 2 ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah every night before going to sleep.
It's like creating that spiritual shield, right?
Yeah.
Seeking all this protection before we sleep.
And then Allah, SWT, doesn't build in a soul beyond what it can endure.
That's so comforting to remember,
It is.
especially when we're going through tough times, you know?
It's like He knows our limits.
Yeah. And our tests are tailored to our strength.
Okay.
Last one.
Okay, what is it?
Before going to sleep, ask Allah SWT to forgive you for your wrongdoings and shortcomings. Do this every night because it could be our last night.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is.
It's a reminder to live each day with intention.
And seek forgiveness.
Yeah, constantly seeking forgiveness.
We never know when it's going to be our last.
Well,
it was such a journey through Surah Al-Baqarah.
So many gems.
I feel like we just touched the surface.
We did. But
what an amazing experience.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned so much. I love that.
Yeah.
About living a more purposeful life.
Absolutely. It all comes back to making Allah the center, right?
Yeah.
Not just in our rituals, but in every aspect of our lives.
True peace and guidance.
Yeah. It all comes from Him.
So if you could leave the listener with just one thought.
One thought.
Yeah.
I would say reflect on that idea that Allah never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear.
Yeah.
How does that knowledge change your perspective on the challenges that you're facing right now?
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like even in our darkest moments,
yeah,
He's still there.
He's always there.
Providing the strength and support.
Always.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for being here.
On this deep dive into Surah Al-Baqarah.
We hope you learned something.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Until then.
May Allah's peace and blessings be upon you all.
Assalamu alaikum.